What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and today doing another 24-25 season review for an NBA team. We're on team 29 out of 30, guys. We're almost there. But now that the season has concluded, I can make a review about each team, right? Because we know where every single team finished now. So the team that we're talking about today is the team in yellow that made it further than anybody thought they would have. If you would ask me at the beginning of the season if this team was going to be in the NBA Finals in a Game 7, if you had told me that, I would have been like, you are crazy and you are on something. Because there's no way that's happening, bucko. But it happened. And all I can do is tip my hat to this team. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Indiana Pacers from Naptown. Because this team just, like, I'm not even a Pacers fan. I'm so proud of what this team did. Not only for just, like, you know, the team itself, but the state of Indiana. Like, those fans are amazing. And the fact that they, you know, were able to get this show, obviously did not win, but they got all the way to a Game 7 with the league's best team in the NBA Finals is incredible, right? And it sucks because, you know, Tyrese Haliburton obviously has the Achilles injury now. He's probably going to miss all of next season. So all of this amazing momentum that they had is probably not really going to be able to be acted upon until the 26-27 season, right, at the earliest. And at that point, the team might be a little different. So we'll see what happens. But let's talk about, you know, the numbers for a second, okay? Let's talk about the numbers for a second. So this team went 50-32. They were the 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. That's a win percentage of 61%. They had a solid home record of 29-11, road record of, you know, straight even at 20-20. They fared well against the West, 21-10, and you know they made it to the playoffs. I personally thought that they were going to lose to the Bucks in the first round. Obviously, I was very wrong. So, you know, but that's just what happens. But let's talk about the individual players on the team, right? So Pascal Siakam led the team in scoring throughout the regular season at 20.2 points per game. He was the only 20-plus point scorer on this team. He also led the team in rebounds at 6.9 boards a night. Tyrese Haliburton was the second leading scorer at 18.6 points per game. Also led the team in assists at 9.2 assists per night. Also led the team in steals at 1.4 steals a game. Pascal Siakam played 78 games, started all of them. Tyrese Haliburton, 73 games, started all of them as well. Then we get down to Benedict Mathurin, who was kind of a starter, kind of came off the bench a little bit, averaged 16.1 points a night. Miles Turner at 15.6 points per night. Aaron Nesmith at 12 points a night, only played 45 games in the regular season. Obi Toppin at 10.5 points a night, playing only 19.6 minutes per game. He might be, you know, the best player that plays under 20 minutes a night in the league right now. Then you had Andrew Nembhard. 65 games started as well, 28.9 minutes a night, and 10 points per game, 5 assists per game as well, along with 1.2 steals. TJ McConnell, also a solid piece off the bench for them, 79 games played, only 1 game started, played 17.9 minutes a night, 9.1 points per game, 4.4 assists, and 1.1 steals. So just from me reading that, you can tell how deep this team is. Like, they have an incredibly deep roster. Only 3 guys were playing 30 minutes a night throughout the regular season. So they relied a lot on their bench guys. And I think that's really important. It shows how important the depth of the team is in order to get to where you want to go, which is winning an NBA title. So they have a couple of questions, you know, now that we're in the offseason is, are they going to re-sign Miles Turner? I would imagine they do. He's probably going to command a pretty hefty salary. I would imagine at least $30 million or so per year in this next deal he gets, especially with the finals run he just had. He's definitely going to earn him some money. This past season was getting paid $19.9 million. So we'll see what happens. I think he probably wants to return to Indiana. He's been there his entire career. And that's really all I can say. But, it might change things knowing that Tyrese is not going to play at all next season, right? I would be shocked. I don't think anyone can recover for an Achilles tear that quickly. So I would be pretty safe to say that Tyrese is not playing next season. But you have Pascal coming back. He's on a long-term contract, under contract until the summer of 2028. Obi Toppin's also under contract until the summer of 2028. You got Aaron Nesmith until the summer of 27. TJ McConnell, who has a player option in 28-29, a team option, so he's probably going to be there until the 2029 summer. You got Benedict Mathurin still on a rookie deal. He's under contract for next season at $9 million. You got Jarris Walker on a rookie deal still. Isaiah Jackson is going to be a restricted free agent. Then you also have James Johnson, who's 38 years old. He's on an expiring contract, and Thomas Bryant also on an expiring deal. So they're going to have some lapses that they might need to fill. I think James Johnson, if he's going anywhere, it's just to be a vet that sits on the bench. He's probably not going to, play a lot for whatever team he goes to. Thomas Bryant could certainly command a lot of money around the market. I think he's a solid backup center. I think he could definitely get paid more than he's getting paid this past season, which was a little over $2 million. I think he could make $4, $5, $6, $7 million if he wanted to. It just depends on what type of team he wants to go to. Before, he was kind of bouncing around a little bit. He was a very solid player on the Washington Wizards. Shout out the Wizards. So there's questions, but Andrew Nembhard also under contract until the summer of 2028. Most of their main guys are under contract for next season, and they're under contract long term. So I don't think they have a ton to worry about. And I think, frankly, it might be a good opportunity for some of these guys to get more shots up and, be able to produce more on the court while Tyrese is out this next season. But Tyrese is really like the facilitator of that offense, right? I've had people say to me time and time again that Tyrese Haliburton sucks, and I'm like, well, he doesn't suck. He's just he's a guy that passes a lot more than he shoots the ball. And a lot of people don't see that as being a good player for whatever reason, but it is what it is. But the team is definitely going to change. Their pace is probably going to go down with Tyrese Haliburton being out. So as far as next season, I'm thinking it's kind of a wash. I think they're probably going to rest guys here and there. I think they're probably going to make some moves. I think it's going to be a tough season for them just not having Tyrese. It's going to be very hard for them to build on their momentum and make it back to the finals. Even though the Eastern Conference is going to be wide open, a lot of people are saying it's going to be wide open in part because Jason Tatum is out with the Achilles. Tyrese Haliburton is now out with the Achilles. Dame is probably out for the majority of the season. You have a lot of these guys that are just going to be out, right? And Giannis might get traded, right? So you never know what's going to happen. But let's talk about the postseason itself, right? Let's look at the positive of this, is that so many people did not think this team had it in them, right? And I remember last year, I've said this time and time again, my friends are Knicks fans for the most part. The vast majority are Knicks fans. And they're talking about how last year Pacers aren't beating the Knicks if everyone on the Knicks was healthy. And I understood that argument to an extent because OG Anunoby was dealing with something. Jalen Brunson went down. Josh Hart was injured. Mitchell Robinson, everyone was getting hurt last season when the Pacers played the Knicks in the second round. So I was like, it would be great. It'd be great if the Pacers matched up with the Knicks again in the playoffs, right? And it happened. It happened on a bigger stage in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Where the Pacers are returning to the ECF just over last season where they got swept by the Boston Celtics. And the Knicks are back in the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, playing the same opponent in the Indiana Pacers. So I was like, okay, if the Knicks don't win this, the Pacers have bragging rights at that point, right? And, it was a very good series, but, the Pacers came out on top, and, Knicks fans are still saying, oh, well, Tyrese Haliburton, this and whatever. I don't know, man. If Tyrese Haliburton was cooking my team too, I'd probably be pissed, so I get it. But let's talk about the finals run, right? Because I think that was really impressive to me, is because that was really the point where it was like, okay, everyone's been doubting them, and now it's like, okay, there's no way they're going to beat the best team in the league, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have the MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It is no way in the world that the Pacers are going to be able to beat them. And they didn't. But the fact that they came into OKC game 1 and they win that game, Tyrese they hadn't led for any point in that game except when Tyrese Haliburton hit that shot with it was like less than a second left, and they win the game, right? I felt so good about that team in that moment. And frankly, if Tyrese didn't go down early in game 7, it could have been unreal what happened, right? There's a high likelihood that if he didn't go down, the Pacers are winning that game and winning the NBA championship, because he was hitting. He was really hitting. And I remember seeing him go down, and just you could see the emotion immediately. Like, he wasn't even thinking about anything else. You could just see Tyrese being like, no, like, why does this have to happen right now? And you have to feel for a guy like that, right? Like, if you guys grew up playing sports, I imagine a lot of you play basketball if you're watching this video, but you work so hard to get to that point, right? Like, think about being at the biggest stage, at the pinnacle of, your sport, and you go down after you make 2 or 3 threes in a row, and you just go down and that's it. And now you're out for all of the next season after that too. Oh, so heartbreaking, man. So, I mean, I really hope Tyrese Haliburton makes a full recovery. I hope he comes back, better than ever, because it was an amazing finals run. And I think if you're a fan of this team, all you can do is just, give them a round of applause and, be happy that your team made it that far, right? They gave you an incredible run, but it is tough to lose in Game 7. But I think I kind of alluded to this, is I don't think this team's making a lot of noise next season. I think the season after that, it's, time to see, is this team really that resilient? Because if any team in the NBA can do it, after, coming off an injury like this to one of your stars, I mean, it's either the Pacers or the Celtics, right? Because I think that's probably what it is, and both of them are dealing with those same injuries. But, the Celtics still, are regarded as the more talented team, the more talented roster. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pacers come back with that, pep in their step, and they're just like, whatever. People are going to doubt us anyway. Let's come out and let's do the best we can and see if we can get some wins, right? And if it doesn't pan out and they're really bad next season, that probably means a higher draft pick, right? Do they own their pick? Let's find out. Let's find out if the Indiana Pacers own their pick. I believe they do, but if they don't, that could be a problem. Let's see here. I'm searching for you guys. 2026, yes, they own their first round pick. So the Pacers own their first round pick next year. So even if they're really bad, they have a shot to get a top pick in a very talented draft class. And, just looking at the payroll, it looks like a lot of their team was accumulated through the draft already. And that's also why the Thunder were very good, because they had this just ability to rely on players that aren't getting paid a ton because they're on rookie deals, right? It's I think Bob Myers said it on the draft broadcast, but he was like, that's cheap labor. And it is very much so cheap labor. A guy like Jalen Williams on the Thunder, who's on a rookie contract, should really be getting paid 4 times what he's getting paid right now. So it allows your team to retain a lot more talent. So that's kind of how you have to win with the new financial rules. And the Pacers have done that. So hopefully they can get another solid draft pick next season. And when Tyrese Haliburton comes back, they're better than ever. But that's really all I got. Let me know what you guys think about the Pacers. If you're a Pacers fan, leave some comments down below. Let me know what it is. Let me know how you feel about your team and the season they had. That's all I got, guys. I'm going to catch you later. Stay up, stay blessed, stay safe, stay humble, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.